You already paid thousands for your cruise, but the ship is still sitting on a pile of free perks nobody tells you about. Guest services isn't just the place you go to complain, it's a quiet counter loaded with things you already paid for through your fare. Things that are never advertised, because the less you ask, the more the cruise line keeps in reserve. A 61-year-old from Ohio spent her whole sailing assuming everything extra had a price tag. Then on the last night, a stranger mentioned the free luggage tags, the free menus, the free earplugs, and she realized she had walked past that counter without ever asking. Today, we're breaking down 30 things you can ask guest services for, at no charge, small requests that quietly upgrade your entire cruise. And number 30 is something almost every senior traveler needs by day 3 and never thinks to request. If you want the rest of these secrets before your next sailing, hit subscribe now, because Senior Cruise Secrets posts a new insider list every week, and you don't want to be the only one at guest services who didn't know to ask. Number 1, health and comfort perks. Number 30, free band-aids and basic first aid supplies. Cruise cabins don't come stocked with a medicine cabinet, so a small blister from a day at port or a minor kitchen cut at the buffet can leave you improvising with tissue and hope. Guest services keeps a basic first aid stock behind the counter, band-aids, antiseptic wipes, and gauze, all free for the asking. A 66-year-old from Tampa nicked her finger opening a stubborn shampoo bottle and was handed a small first aid kit within minutes. No charge, no questions. The magic phrase is simple. Ask for a basic first aid item and a crew member will hand it over immediately. It also saves a trip to the onboard medical center, which can charge a consultation fee even for something as small as a blister. Number 29. Free help contacting a missing cruise passenger. If you get separated from your travel companion in a crowd of 3,000 people, panic sets in fast, but guest services can page a passenger over the ship's internal system or coordinate a meeting point through the front desk entirely free. A 63-year-old traveling with her sister lost track of her at the pool deck during a sail-away party, and within 10 minutes, a page brought them back together. Don't wander the ship searching. Walk straight to guest services and ask them to locate your companion. Number 28. Free over-the-counter seasickness medication. Rough seas hit without warning, and the gift shop version of motion sickness tablets can run you $15 or more for a tiny package. Many ships keep a small supply of basic seasickness remedies at guest services or through the medical center, available at no cost for mild cases. A 70-year-old from Naples felt the first wave of nausea on a windy sea day and was handed a free tablet instead of being sent to the pricier onboard pharmacy. Ask early, before the line gets long on a rocky afternoon, since guest services usually only stocks a small supply, and the medical center will charge full price once that runs out. Number 27. Free help replacing lost cruise documents. Misplacing your boarding pass or a printed excursion ticket can trigger real anxiety, but guest services can reprint most of these documents on the spot at no charge. A 68-year-old from Sacramento left his printed shore excursion voucher in his cabin safe and forgot the code, and the front desk reissued a fresh copy within 15 minutes. Keep this in mind before you panic over a missing paper. The desk almost always has a backup copy in the system, and for most documents, there is no fee at all, even on a repeat request. Number 26. Free bill breaking into smaller denominations. Tipping crew members in cash is common practice, but arriving with only large bills makes small gratuities awkward. Guest services will break larger bills into smaller ones for free, a courtesy many passengers never think to ask for. A 64-year-old couple from Denver wanted to tip their room steward and the dining staff individually, but only had $100 bills, and the front desk swapped them for smaller denominations without hesitation. This alone saves you the trouble of scrambling for change on the last night, and it means your steward and dining staff get the individual thank you they actually earned. Number 2, luggage, travel, and port day help. Number 25, free earlier disembarkation luggage tags. On the final morning, disembarkation groups are assigned by tag color, and later groups can mean an hour or more of waiting in a crowded lounge. Guest services can often move you to an earlier tag group, especially if you have a tight flight, entirely free. A 67-year-old from Charlotte had a noon flight and a late tag assignment, and a quick visit to the desk 2 days before disembarkation got her switched to an earlier group. Ask well before the last day, not the morning of. Number 24, free luggage repairs. A broken zipper or a snapped wheel can turn your suitcase into a nightmare right when you need it most, but many ships keep basic luggage repair kits or can direct you to a crew member who handles simple fixes at no cost. A 65-year-old from Portland had his suitcase wheels snap off during boarding, and guest services connected him with a crew member who reinforced it enough to survive the whole week. Don't buy a new bag at the gift shop until you've asked what the desk can do first, since a simple strap or wheel fix can carry a suitcase through several more trips. Number 23, free lost and found assistance. Items left behind on tenders in the theater or at the pool deck end up in a lost and found managed through guest services, and retrieving your item costs nothing. A 62-year-old from Austin left her sunglasses on a lounge chair and assumed they were gone for good, but a quick call to the front desk confirmed they had already been turned in. Report a lost item the same day, since unclaimed items are often given away to charity after the cruise ends, and the sooner the report is filed, the higher your odds of getting it back before disembarkation. Number 22, free shoe repairs or superglue. A broken sandal strap or a peeling sole can ruin a formal night or a long walking excursion, and guest services often has industrial strength glue or can point you to a crew member who handles quick fixes all free. A 69-year-old from Miami had her sandal strap snap right before dinner, and a 5-minute stop at the desk saved her evening. This is one of the most overlooked free perks on the entire ship. Number 21, free help with accessibility assistance in port. Cobblestone streets, steep gangways, and long tender lines can be genuinely difficult for travelers with mobility concerns, and guest services can arrange wheelchair assistance, priority tender boarding, or a slower moving group escort at no charge. A 71-year-old from St. Louis used a cane and struggled with a long tender line until the desk arranged priority boarding for her and her husband. Request this the night before a tender port, not while you're already standing in line, since arrangements made early tend to run far smoother than last-minute requests. Number 3, technology, printing, and daily conveniences. Number 20, free help connecting to cruise Wi-Fi. Ship Wi-Fi packages can be confusing, and passengers often assume a technical problem means their purchased package failed, when it's frequently a setup issue guest services can fix immediately at no extra charge beyond the plan you already bought. A 60-year-old from Seattle couldn't get her tablet to connect for 2 full days, Before learning, the desk could walk her through the correct login steps in 5 minutes. Ask for a Wi-Fi troubleshooting walkthrough instead of assuming your package is broken, since most connection issues turn out to be a simple device setting rather than a problem with the ship's system. Number 19. Free paper menus at restaurants. Many ships have shifted to digital menus on tablets or QR codes, which can be frustrating for travelers who prefer reading print. And most dining venues will provide a paper menu on request, entirely free. A 73-year-old from Phoenix struggled with the small text on the digital menu until her waiter quietly handed her a printed version without being asked twice. Simply request a paper menu when you sit down. Most restaurants keep a small stack behind the host stand, and asking on your first night usually means you're offered one automatically for the rest of the cruise. Number 18. Free earplugs for a noisy cabin. Cabins near the engine room, elevator shafts, or a busy nightclub deck can be surprisingly loud at night, and guest services typically keeps basic foam earplugs on hand for free. A 66-year-old from Kansas City couldn't sleep through the bass from the deck party above her cabin until the front desk gave her a small pack of earplugs on request. This is one of the simplest fixes for one of the most common complaints on any cruise, and a fresh pair is usually available within a few minutes of asking. Number 17. Free paper cruise planners. Some cruise lines have moved almost entirely to app-based schedules, but guest services can usually print a paper version of the daily planner for passengers who prefer holding a physical copy. A 68-year-old from Richmond found the app confusing to navigate and asked for a printed planner instead, which the desk provided every morning of the cruise. If scrolling through an app isn't your style, just ask for paper, and many stewards will even leave one on your bed each evening once they know your preference. Number 16. Free printing of important documents. Whether it's a boarding pass for your return flight or a hotel confirmation for after the cruise, guest services can often print a small number of documents for free, saving you a stressful scramble at the airport. A 64-year-old from Tucson needed his printed boarding pass, and the front desk printed it without charge the night before disembarkation. Ask early in the cruise so you're not rushing on the final morning, since guest services can get busy with disembarkation questions in the final 24 hours. Number 15. Free extra cruise daily programs or copies for travel companions. Traveling in a group often means only one cabin receives the daily planner, but guest services will happily hand out extra copies, so everyone in your party has their own schedule to mark up. A 65-year-old traveling with 3 friends in separate cabins asked for 4 copies each morning instead of sharing one crumpled sheet. It's a small convenience that keeps everyone in your group on the same page, literally, and it avoids the daily argument over who gets to hold the only copy. Number 4. Cabin and keycard, ISUs. Number 14. Free help with cruise card or key card problems. Your cruise card acts as your room key, your ID, and your payment method, and if it stops working at an awkward moment, guest services fixes it immediately at no charge. A 67-year-old from Denver had her card demagnetized after sitting near her phone, and the front desk reprogrammed it in under 2 minutes. Don't fight with a stubborn cabin door. Head straight to the desk, since a demagnetized card is usually fixed faster than it takes to walk there. Number 13. Free replacement cruise cards for lost or damaged cards. Losing your cruise card can feel like a minor emergency, but a replacement card is issued free of charge. usually within minutes once your identity is confirmed. A 70-year-old from Naples dropped her card overboard from a lower deck railing and was issued a brand new one after a quick verification at the desk. Keep a photo ID handy to speed up the replacement process, and consider keeping a backup copy of your booking number in your phone in case the physical card is gone for good. Number 12. Free help with cabin noise complaints. Thin walls, noisy neighbors, or a squeaky door hinge can wreck an otherwise perfect cruise, and guest services will follow up on noise complaints directly with the offending cabin or with maintenance at no cost to you. A 63-year-old from Charlotte reported late-night noise from the cabin next door, and the issue was quietly resolved by the following evening. A polite report to the desk is far more effective than knocking on a stranger's door yourself, and it keeps the whole exchange professional instead of personal. Number 11. Free cabin maintenance requests for broken fixtures. A flickering light, a slow drain, or a broken drawer handle might seem like something you just live with for a week, but maintenance requests through guest services are completely free and usually handled within a day. A 69-year-old from St. Louis reported a broken reading light on the first night, and it was fixed before she returned from dinner. Report small issues immediately instead of tolerating them for the rest of the cruise, since a request made on day one is far more likely to be finished before you even notice the wait. Number 10. Free extra towels for your cabin. Pool towels and bath towels sometimes run short, especially with multiple people sharing one cabin, and your steward or guest services will bring extra towels on request. No charge involved. A 61-year-old traveling with her husband and adult daughter asked for 2 extra bath towels on the first day and never had to think about it again. Don't ration towels, just ask for more, since a quick note to your steward usually means extras appear during the very next cabin service. Number 5. Sleep, comfort, and forgotten items. Number 9. Free extra pillows for better sleep. Cabin beds often come with a limited pillow count, and if you sleep better with more support, your steward can bring additional pillows at no cost, sometimes even different firmness options. A 72-year-old from Sacramento requested 2 extra firm pillows on embarkation day and slept better the entire week than she had in years at home. Mention your preference to your steward on day 1 rather than suffering through a bad night's sleep. Since most cabins carry a small hidden stock of extra pillows in a nearby linen closet. Number 8. Free extra blankets for cold cabins. Air conditioning on cruise ships can run cold, especially at night, and an extra blanket is always available free of charge through your cabin steward or guest services. A 74-year-old from Ohio kept waking up cold until she asked for a second blanket, which arrived within the hour. This is one of the easiest comfort fixes on the entire ship, and almost nobody asks for it. Number 7. Free ice for minor comfort or medical needs. Whether you need ice for a sore knee, a headache, or simply cold water throughout the day, your steward or guest services can supply a full ice bucket at no charge, refilled as often as you like. A 68-year-old from Tampa used ice packs nightly for her arthritis and never once paid for the convenience. Just ask your steward to top off the ice bucket during evening turndown, and don't hesitate to ask twice a day if you need it for a medical reason. Number 6. Free help recovering items left behind in your cabin. If you realize after disembarkation that you left something in your cabin, guest services can often help trace the item through the housekeeping team before you even leave the ship, entirely free. A 65-year-old from Portland left a phone charger plugged in behind the nightstand, and guest services located it and returned it before she reached the gangway. Report a forgotten item the moment you notice it missing, not after you've already left. Number 6. Special requests and problem resolution. Number 5. Free assistance with special dietary requests. Whether it's a food allergy, a low-sodium diet, or a religious dietary requirement, guest services and the dining team will accommodate special meal requests at no additional charge, often preparing dishes off menu. A 66-year-old from Austin with a severe nut allergy met with the head waiter through guest services on day 1 and ate worry-free every night after that. Set this up early in the cruise rather than improvising at each meal. Number 4. Free help arranging a special occasion surprise. Celebrating an anniversary or a birthday on board doesn't require an expensive package, since guest services can often arrange a simple free touch, like a cabin decoration or a mention at dinner, especially if you let them know in advance. A 63-year-old couple from Kansas City, celebrating 40 years of marriage, mentioned it to the front desk and returned to their cabin to find a small handwritten card and balloons waiting. A little advance notice goes a long way here, and even a simple mention at check-in is often enough for the crew to plan a small surprise by dinner. Number 3. Free assistance with port day mobility needs. Long walks from the ship to the terminal exit or across uneven pavement can be exhausting for travelers with limited mobility, and guest services can often arrange a wheelchair, a golf cart transfer, or a slower-paced escort at each port, free of charge. A 71-year-old from Miami used this service at every port on a 10-day cruise. Never once felt rushed or left behind. Request this the evening before each port stop for the smoothest experience, since equipment is limited and tends to go to whoever asked first. Number 2. Free help resolving onboard billing errors. Mysterious charges on your final folio are more common than most passengers realize, and guest services will review your bill line by line and remove errors at no cost, since it is, after all, their mistake to fix. A 67-year-old from Seattle spotted a charge for a spa treatment she never booked, and after a 5-minute review at the desk, the charge was reversed. Check your folio on the app every couple of days. Instead of waiting until the final morning, since errors caught early are corrected in minutes instead of turning into a long line on disembarkation day. Number 1. Free help documenting and escalating unresolved cruise problems. If a smaller issue never gets properly fixed, guest services can formally document your complaint and escalate it to a manager, which not only gets faster results on board, but also creates a paper trail if you need to follow up with customer relations after the cruise, all completely free. A 64-year-old from Tucson had a persistent air conditioning problem that 3 maintenance visits didn't fix, and once she asked the desk to formally document it, a supervisor personally resolved it within hours. This is the most underused free perk on this entire list, and it can turn a frustrating cruise into a smooth one, so never let a real problem go unrecorded just because it feels too small to mention. That's all 30 free perks sitting quietly behind the guest services counter, waiting for someone to actually ask, and now you know exactly what to say and when to say it. None of these require elite status. None of them require an upsell, and every single one is already included in the fare you paid. If this list saved you money or stress before your next sailing, subscribe to Senior Cruise Secrets so you never miss the next set of insider tips drop a comment telling us which one surprised you the most, and we'll see you on the next video. Right here at Guest Services, where the free stuff has been waiting the whole time.